You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
Feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it.
The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Woolduck, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
What's up, guys?
And Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Dude, that's good. Trademark that. That needs to be your every time intro.
A kissy face to
Welcome back.
hey.
Hey, guys.
All right, gang. Well, it is another week in the off season prior to any major changes happening, but there are still so many rumors floating around.
Loading.
So many.
Dude, we are in the hunt for every single free
agent
in the
is
NFL.
on our radar. So
Everyone.
prepare
Expect us to be in the hunt for them.
Absolutely. And there are some deadlines that are kind of coming up around the corner as well, but we are out of the combine. And before we get to anything, we need to wish a happy belated birthday to one of our favorite listeners, one of our main men.
You left us hanging.
Senior
Snappy.
Snappy.
Happy birthday, Senor. Happy belated.
Happy birthday from all of us to you.
Yes. Happy birthday, Senior Snappy. And Kyle, you got to go. You actually got to attend a
You
party.
got like a little invite.
Yeah.
Being that I was actually close enough to drive
Within
there,
driving distance. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and my wife made it happen. We went out and yeah, it was super fun. I was like, well, I know Senora is going to get us some awesome food. There's going to be some fun drinks, great people. So we made a date night out of it. Mom and dad watched the kids and we headed down to the beach. Yeah.
To the
and
Snappies.
the other not hard part decision about it. He's like, oh, we live in Carlsbad. I looked at the address. They're like 3 blocks from the ocean. So I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
we'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look at these split.
Yeah. But it was awesome. Right when I got there, you guys were on Zoom. We did a toast for his birthday.
We did. Yes.
fun.
It was awesome. Good
And
people.
some big news came out of there too, I believe. Something was promised.
Yeah. Well, he asked me what I did for a living, and I told him I worked at a church. So then he asked me to officiate his wedding at the end of
Yes!
April.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Wow.
The coach will be the officiant for Senor and Senora.
That is
Love it.
awesome. Well, there you go. Congratulations, Senior Snappy. Happy birthday and happy eventual wedding with
Yes.
coach overseeing the whole shebang. So
Yeah.
that
There
is
better
awesome.
be a Caleb
Yeah.
you buy at the end of those.
For sure. Yeah.
nuts.
It's going to be a good fun. It's going to be, like all the other ones I've done have been for like family members. And one was for a really close friend. It's going to be fun with someone that I have like such a bond with Chargers about.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
something. Yeah. I'm going to find a way to make it Charger related.
Powder
for
blue
sure.
tuxes,
So rad.
yellow bow
Oh,
ties.
should I show up in the Dumb and Dumber powder blue as the
Coattail
officiant?
powder blues. Let's go.
That would be good. Or just low key like a suit that has like the powder blue Charger stuff on the inside, you know?
When you
Sure.
like flex
Or
it out
just
a
a
little
tie, like a powder blue tie, something
Yeah.
like that. We'll see.
bit. Or
I'll
like
talk.
the Justin Herbert socks as a tie.
His
idea.
face all over the tie.
That's an
As a
idea.
tie.
That's an idea.
No, that's
We'll log it.
That's screams elegance.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Congratulations again, Senior Snappy. And
Yes.
some of us have Vegas on the mind right now. What's going on with that?
Go ahead, Kev. Tell
Well,
him
it
what
looks
we're
like my dad, Kyle, and I are meeting in Vegas. I don't know how it all aligned, but we're going to Vegas to watch the basketball tournament.
Yeah, the Mountain West
Mountain
basketball
West,
tournament.
yeah.
So we usually
Very
go
cool.
every single year. My dad played for the University of New Mexico, the Lobos. They're in the Mountain West. We grew up in San Diego, so we're big San Diego State Aztec fans. My wife graduated from San Diego State, so and then we still have family living in Albuquerque, so it's kind of like a big family reunion.
It's our
most
yearly
years.
hangout. So
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah, last year didn't get to do it because of COVID, so we're
back.
pumped to,
We're
pumped
back.
to head out.
Coming in hot and heavy. I like it.
So we're pumped.
Yeah. So
All
we'll
right.
put our money on the Chargers for the Super Bowl. Anyone wants
Yep.
to get in on it?
There
We'll
you
let
go.
you know our Venmo.
First roulette table I find, I'm putting 20 on 10. We'll see
Yep.
what happens.
Hmm.
That's craps. Spin the little white ball and we'll
Yeah.
get it going.
Cross some fingers. Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Love it. All right. Well, speaking of Vegas, this just came out today. And the only reason this kind of really came on our radar, I mean, it's pretty big news to say the least, but some people have been talking about this player possibly coming to the Chargers as a good fit. But Calvin Ridley will lose out on more than $11 million in salary next season after being suspended for betting a total of $1,500 on NFL games.
You can't.
Out the whole season.
What an idiot. You can't do that.
No.
Ask Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Can't get into the Hall of Fame because of this shit. You can't do that. They lost $11 million for one parlay bet.
That is so crazy. $1,500. Like, why are you even making that bet? Like, who are you? What are you trying to gain?
What I heard is interesting is, you know how the NFL is partnering up with more of these betting websites?
Sure.
So the betting websites are able to keep track of the players and what they're doing. And apparently that's how they found out about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
wow.
So he's no longer on my free agency pickup list.
No, he's not on anybody's
that he has
radar.
To sit out an entire year, I think we're good.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. They are not messing around. Why? Well, they kind of have to, right? You put a team in Vegas, you're partnering with these like gambling sites. If somebody gets caught gambling, you gotta lay it down and be like, no, this can't happen anymore.
Make an
You're done
example.
for a whole year.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, the NFL is kind of crazy. It's pick and choose. There's no set like, hey, this is the punishment. You can get domestic violence charges, be convicted, and still serve 2 games. But you put a $1,500 parlay. What Kevin's going to do this weekend, and you lose out on $11 million.
I don't know about 1,500, but 150 maybe.
If you go up, we're riding.
I'm going.
We're going all
let's
in.
go. I'm feeling like this is going to be
the final
a good Vegas
parlay
trip.
on that bet is going to be too.
What?
Chargers winning the Super Bowl.
There you go.
I'm going to do like a parlay. Chargers win the AFC Championship, MVP for Herbert,
MVP,
and Super Bowl win, and it pays out like $100 pays out like $3 million.
You might as
Why
well
not?
go all in. Yeah.
Whatever.
If those other 2 things happen, Herbert has to get the MVP.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's meant to be.
Smart move.
So,
Smart bet, Kev.
we'll let you know
Smart
how
bet.
it goes. We'll let you know how it goes, and fingers crossed.
All right. Well, now looking over at some of the free agency rumors, this came out to the Chargers, quote, aren't going to let Mike Williams go, end quote, according to a person with direct knowledge of the situation. If both sides don't agree on a long-term extension, the Chargers are prepared to franchise tag the wide receiver.
I kind of have some hope. I kind of have some like last minute Joey Bosa hope, because this tag is coming up like when this episode comes out. I feel like it's going to be a last minute. We're working out the last little details of our deal
as he's pulling up to training camp.
Exactly. This isn't like because they've already franchised. A whole bunch of guys have already been franchise tag. It just feels like, I feel like it's going to be an actual contract. I really do.
Yeah, but by the time this episode comes out, we are in the past and we don't know what happened, but
Right.
we'll know if he's been franchise tagged or not, because the deadline is 1:00 today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good news though, I think, because everyone went into the combine. We saw these receivers running these 40s. You get all excited, and now it's kind of like, it's okay. Like you don't have to reach. If Mike Williams is signed long term, or even if he's just signed for a year, we don't have to reach for anyone. We can let them fall to us and get a smart pick, which it's always the hope.
Absolutely. This also came out, a tweet from Jordan Schultz in the same vein. Sources say the Chargers and star wide receiver Mike Williams are motivated to get a long-term extension done. Chargers love him, but aren't there yet. If nothing gets done, the wide expectation is for Williams to get tagged, which is an $18.5 million tag for the 2022 season. So
that's a lot of baloney.
Yeah. NFL came out with the salary cap, the official salary cap, and then all of the franchise tag totals for positions. And right now, if you wanted to franchise tag Mike Williams, that's an $18.5 million tag for 1 year.
It's the
Why
third
would you even
highest tender.
put kicker? Why would you put kicker punter on the franchise tag list? Has a kicker punter ever been franchise tagged? $5 million for a kicker?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a good chunk of change. Yeah.
Yeah. It's magic leg there. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard of that one before. So,
but 18.5 million is a lot when I think we could get him on a long-term deal for probably a little bit less than that. No?
Well, I mean, that's the hope. Obviously, they haven't come to an agreement yet, and we're very quickly nearing the deadline. So, it should hopefully be out as of the time that this episode comes out. So, you guys will know before we will, but whatever happens, we'll be sure to talk about it. Yeah, a longer term deal does feel better, but I mean, 18.5 for 1 year, that is a big chunk of change for sure.
But I, as I've talked about before, there's the franchise tag. You might overpay a little bit, but you get them on a short 1 year club friendly deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not putting yourself 4 years into debt on this one guy. It's just, hey, we're going to pay you maybe 2-3 million more than we would have paid you if we extended it. But if things don't go the way we want, or if we do get someone in the draft that falls to us at an awesome spot after this year, we move on, or you tag them, try to trade them in the offseason. Because then if you have them tagged, you have the ability to trade them and get something back for it instead of you use a first round pick on a guy and you get nothing and he leaves.
Yeah.
There you go. So that is the potential strategy. So we will see as time goes on. But another rumor floating around is from Mike Garofalo. Keep an eye on the Chargers in the free agent corner market. They could be in the mix for Gilmore and or Jackson. That's Stephon Gilmore and J.C. Jackson out of New England. Yeah, it could be.
What do you mean
double whammy?
Like both of them? Get out of here.
That's a lot.
We just heard they released Kyle Van Noy, so fuck it, let's make it a 3-pack of Patriots. Bring them on over.
Right?
Let's go.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, Kyle Van Noy is my boy from high school. We played together,
right?
Up in Reno. But yeah, I just don't buy it. Like, where do these sources come from that say expect the Chargers to be in? Like,
I know,
what
right?
do you mean? They say that about right now because I think they just say that they assume the teams with the most cap space are going to go after the best players.
Sure.
So now every good player in every position we're expected to go after.
Imagine we're a dartboard and all these riders are closing their eyes and
spinning. Yeah.
Just throwing darts.
Right.
And
yeah,
it doesn't matter if they hit or not. It's just, it's been funny because you got to be careful. Because on Twitter, there's like new accounts that pop up that have like 100 followers. That are like breaking news. Like you got to make sure you look and see who's actually reporting the shit. Because a lot of it is just bullshit.
Absolutely.
So be careful out there.
I have fallen prey to those terrible accounts.
Sucker.
They get my hopes up, and I feel like a jackass afterwards. So don't let that happen to you. I don't want that to happen to anybody else. But I mean, it does stand to reason. Like this is really going to be an exciting free agency for the Chargers because of how much money we have. It's going to be exciting. Either you're going to get a bunch of big pieces, or you're going to get a lot of smaller ones. But they're going to be like it's all going to be new. It's going to be different. Yeah,
yeah.
I think our defense is going to look totally different in the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks. It's just going to be a totally different defense. Watching
these other teams not making deals with some of these players like Kyle Van Noy. Like Kyle Van Noy's played great for New England. Like to get rid of him is just like, holy shit. Like it's like nobody's safe with some of these other teams because of them being either so far over the cap that they've really got to make some sacrifices. And I think it's going to be a really fun free agency.
And when you have the money, you prey on these just giving these problems for other teams.
Right.
Yeah, and remember last year during COVID, a lot of guys signed 1 year deals because no one the cap went down. Everyone's like, hey, I just need to get a deal. I'm a free agent. I'll do a 1 year prove it deal.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys right now are all coming up on, hey, either they underperformed maybe and went under the radar, and we could like snag them for a cheap deal now. So it's a good year to have cap for sure.
To have some money, yeah.
Well, and other guys that are just straight up cut, like Kyle Rudolph from the Giants, tight end, just just released.
As soon as I saw that, I text you guys. I'm like, this feels like a
Charger move, right?
It does. Feels like the Chargers are going after Rudolph. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about the situation. It just feels like it feels like a Cook all over again. That kind of veteran that's solid. I guess you depend on. maybe Jared Cook dropped a couple balls, but
Didn't watch a lot of Vikings games. I don't know a lot about Rudolph, but
yeah. But it's I don't know something about it. I saw the post was like this feels so. If my Charger Spidey senses were right, Rudolph might be a Charger coming in a couple months.
All right. So yeah, lots of things to be excited about for the free agency. But we've also had the combine this weekend. Got to see a lot of guys running way faster than we ever thought they could humanly possibly.
These kids are the fastest kids alive. Like, when did this happen?
You see these mountains that are flying down at like 40-yard dash in like a 4.4 or 4.5, something like that. Like, Jesus. Like,
I make jokes that like I'll run through a brick wall for Staley. Like, these people could actually run through brick walls.
They could do it. Yeah.
Like, literally.
That should be a combine sport. You got to run through a brick
wall.
You got a Kool-Aid man.
Only the best survive to play in the NFL.
Yeah, boy. I mean, that seems to be the big event, is that 40-yard dash. Like that is what everybody is talking about, is those times that come out. I mean, when you see guys like Jordan Davis run faster than Baker Mayfield did at his combine, like,
all I picture is him getting run down and tackled hard.
Yeah, 340 pounds, 6'6". I mean, the guy is just a beast, and he is running faster. How does that even happen? That doesn't seem possible.
It's hard for me. I know a lot of people feel strongly on this, and the argument is like he's only a 2-down guy. But if he's available at 17, I don't know how you don't draft Jordan Davis. I just don't understand how you don't do that. Like, I know it's not the flashiest position, and I get some of the arguments.
Yeah,
the dude is a freak.
Yeah,
and he's only going to get better.
The guy's insane. Yeah.
Do you know? It's just like you can't. You know, you're trying to put him in a box. Like, oh, he's only a 2-down. Wait, where were we? Where did we have a problem last year? Getting beat in 1st and 2nd down against the run. Like, that's where we got our asses kicked. This guy, I have a strong feeling he could help a lot in this area.
Yeah.
So I would not. That's what's so cool about this draft is like, I don't have just one guy in the 1st round I'm looking for. I have like a few that are like, if one falls, I'm going to be okay with this. And if he falls, like that's great too. So it's a different kind of draft this year. It's exciting.
100%. Yeah. I think we're going to learn a lot once we get through free agency, where our biggest needs are going to end up being. Because right now, I mean, we've had like 15 guys that are basically pretty much not guaranteed to be on the team next year. Hopefully we get some of those guys back. But there are going to be some holes. And so we're going to know after free agency, like, okay, what is our biggest position of need? Like last year, we all were like, okay, we got to fix that O-line. We got to protect our boy.
100%.
Left tackle, please and thank you. Like, there's no reason to think of any other position.
Right.
And blessedly, Rashawn Slater fell to us in that number. So this year, it's really going to be like, man, what could we do? Like, you really could. I mean, if you got a wide receiver, you'd be like, yeah, it's not bad.
I get it.
Maybe not the biggest position to me, but I get it. Or you go corner, or you go safety, or you go O-line, or you go defensive line. It's just like,
kid,
like they could all make sense.
That Treylon Burks kid was like pretty impressive. Like, he didn't run the fastest, but they kept showing his highlights of just making plays in open field. And we haven't had a lot of that. Like, the kid just is good at football. And I think that's what's the problem with the combine too, is you don't always get that when you're getting all the measurables. That there's just some interesting guys out there that could absolutely step in and have a day one impact on this team.
Yeah. And I think Treylon Burks to the Chargers is going to be I think that whole thought is gone if Mike Williams stays, because he's got that similar big body, deep field, like go up and get balls type. But we saw a lot. Like, everyone is salivating. I feel like maybe it's just me, but Chris Olave out of Ohio State, being a Mission Hills guy, San Diego kid, he ran a 4.36 unofficial. They ended up bumping it up. No, he ran a 4.29 unofficial, and they bumped it up to a 4.39. And again, I do believe the combine is the underwear Olympics, and I don't love it because somebody that has never watched college football and doesn't pay attention to these guys, they just watch the combine and then they decide who they want for their team. I think that is a big, big failure. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Like, if there's someone that you really like, now go back and see what they did. Watch a whole game, see how they performed, how they interacted with their teammates, all that kind of stuff. Because that's not it. Olave was already on kind of a lot of people's boards, and then he performed in a way that was above what anyone thought. Like I kind of saw him as a Keenan Allen type, like as a route running, smart, get in spaces, make catches. But
He's a
Keenan
burner.
Allen was a 4.56 40. This guy ran 2.10. Yeah, 2.10 fat, like 2,500 faster. So the guy can catch and run for sure.
And I think it was Herbie's mama on Twitter found him talking shit to Raiders fans on Twitter like 5-6 years
back in high
ago.
school. Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yes.
And the non like analyzing players. I want you on this team
Absolutely.
for that only.
Yeah.
So that's
sure.
awesome. I put a smile on my face for sure.
If that'll be really awkward if
They
the
draft him.
Raiders try to go for him.
You better go scrub that Twitter.
Yeah. But it really is exciting. So we will find out as time goes on what happens with free agency, and we'll get a better idea for the draft. But it is exciting. It feels more exciting than it has been in the past, just because of like all the different positions, the options. That's what it is. It's like there's so many options that you could possibly like, and you would understand every possible pick. Be like, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. So,
and Trevor Penning, we didn't talk about him at all. I fucking love that guy so much.
Well, he also in the draft, I feel like he solidified himself even higher because like he's an FCS guy out of northern Iowa, so he's not like a big time school. So you don't really know, can he compete at that level? What's going to happen? And when he faces real competition, the Senior Bowl, he stood out still. And then again at the combine, all of his numbers are comp to all the big school players. So yeah, I think he is I think he's a top 20 guy now. I think he's gonna be. So I think if the Chargers, if he falls at 17, there's not a top corner, not a top edge rusher. I could definitely see us solidifying that right tackle with a Trevor Penning, and I would be hyped. I would love, man, his just mean, nasty tenacity as a football player. Just go. You don't really watch O-line. You don't watch O-line highlights, right? I tossed it on before this just to see. I just kind of wanted to watch all of his highlights. He's just being mean. Like it's just like after the play's done, he's already washed him past the quarterback. Quarterback stepped up the run. He just like leg whips the guy down to the ground, and like shoves his head into him. Those are like all of his highlights. It's awesome.
You might get a couple penalties from him, but he's a mean SOB. That's for sure.
Yeah, dude, like that guy with our current offensive line, like with a Matt Filer on the left and him on the right, there's some mean dudes.
Oh yeah,
mean dudes. That's it makes me smile thinking that he could be our right tackle. It really does.
I just want to always draft offensive linemen in the first round. I'm sorry, I get it. The other ones are flashier and more fun, and the highlights are cooler to watch on draft day. But like, just give me all the offensive linemen. I want the best O line in the league, and then be smart in the later rounds and get good special teams. I think we are good enough to win if you give us that.
100%. All right. Well, if you want to win, you should head on over to chargerchat.com. Check out some of the sweet merch that we've got over there.
Every
we've
week
got
with you, Adam.
Awesome t-shirts. We've got hoodies and stickers, all bunch of stuff to check out. And we've got the members section where you can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. So go check it out, chargerchat.com. All right. Well, now it's time to go on to the next segment. It is Bolt Insight, and I think we've got a familiar face. Let's see who it is.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with another Bolt Insight, and we have the one and only, the queen of Chargers, Jen Mills. What is going on, Jen?
Hey, Kevin. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad to catch up with you again. A lot of crazy stuff's happened for you in the last couple months. The Captain Morgan Fan of the Year, going to the Super Bowl, all of that crazy stuff. We'll get to that. But before we do that, just wanted to get your thoughts on kind of, how the season ended, the kind of the heartbreaker at the Raiders and all of that. Like what was that like for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I was lucky enough to be able to attend the game.
Oh, you were in person at the Raider game?
Yes, I did attend it. So that was an incredible experience, as everybody saw. Obviously, the game was the game of the season, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it did not end the way we had hoped. But I had a great experience at Allegiant. I really did. The crowd was great. I mean, we were probably hoping for a little bit bigger turnout, but I think, like 30, 35%, I have to say, were Chargers fans. So it was a decent turnout for Allegiant, for our first time there. So
that's awesome. And then what was it like seeing Justin Herbert at the end of that game and just what he was doing and how he was driving and the throws he was making? What was that like in person?
Oh, it was the seat of your pants, anxiety, driven. And I was right at the rail on level 3. So I'm like holding onto the rail and like, going like this and like, do I watch? All that stuff. Every time he would convert a 4th down, I would just jump up, and there were maybe a handful of Chargers fans, maybe like 6 rows above me. So I would turn around, we would air 5 each other, and it was great. It was just so much fun to watch the, comeback and to tie it up in the 4th quarter. That was a great experience.
It's funny being removed from it now because it was a loss and it hurt, but like just what he did, like it's just the future and what we have. It's just crazy.
Yes, absolutely. And I can't remember, I want to say I did hear Austin mention it once in an interview, that their 4th down mindset is how they are on first downs. Yeah. So going into next season, having that mindset and having already experienced it for a whole season of what to expect, I think next season is just going to be phenomenal. I'm super excited for it.
I know. I was excited last year. I'm even more excited for what's about to come. So tell us a little bit about your experience. Like, you've met a lot of players now. You're pretty much in with the organization. It's crazy. So what is it like having that experience as, the fan of the year for the Chargers?
I am still so humbled by the experience. I absolutely love this team and organization and our fan base. I could not have gone through it without you guys, whoever went ahead and voted me in, and then obviously the Chargers organization for picking me for this year's Fan of the Year. I am just thrilled, and I will have a lifetime of memories that include 30 amazing fans of other teams. I say 30 because there is one that did not want to participate as much with the rest of us.
Oh,
can you guess?
Are you going to tell us, or maybe
you can guess?
Raiders?
Yes, sir.
L7 weenie is what they are.
It was. I mean, so much happened that I can't even explain, but so much happened. But the rest of us had a great time. We bonded, prior to being announced as winners. A Facebook group was formed for all of us so we could interact with each other before we actually met during Super Bowl week. So by the time Super Bowl week came and the Honors was the first event that we all met and got to go to, it was so much fun, honestly. Like, I felt like I've known these people my whole life already, and it was only been a couple months of interaction.
Well, that's got to be blowing the roof off with all the super fans at the same place at the same time. Was there any kind of friction or rivalry between super fans? Because I know when I see another fan that is as pumped up as I am, there's a little friction.
Oh no, not at all. Honestly, we all went into with the same mindset that this is all about the love of football for our team. It has nothing to do with rivalries whatsoever. So we were all just chit-chatting. I got a picture with the Broncos and Chiefs Fan of the Year. So we took our division picture because the unnamed did not want to be included in the picture with us.
So lame.
So I have that picture, which, I will cherish because there were 2 amazing gentlemen that I absolutely adored. And everybody else, I really did make such good friends. I will be meeting up with them again when we go to the draft.
Oh, fun. You get to go to the draft as well?
Well, not for the organization, not for the Chargers, but since it's in Vegas, I'm going to go.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm trying to find a way to justify getting out there for that weekend. So maybe we'll run into each other on the strip. But yeah, so what was I was curious, like the male to female ratio in terms of fans for the respective teams. What was that ratio like? Because I think that's such a cool thing about football is like diehard ladies and guys.
So let me see here. Okay, so for the females, it was the Jets, Jaguars, Texans, Ravens, Titans, myself, Bears. I know I'm missing one. I want to say there were probably a good 8-9 of us that were women.
That's awesome.
I could be off, but I'm trying to remember a picture because we took like group pictures of just the women and then a picture of the guys and then all of us together. So I would say a good 9, 10 of us. I'm missing people. Definitely.
That's cool. That's awesome turnouts. I love that. And then what was it like the Super Bowl? What was it like being, because you got to go to the Super Bowl, being fan of the year. What was that experience like?
So I feel bad because, SoFi's our stadium. So it's like, I've already seen it, but to be there for the Super Bowl. No big deal, right? But to walk onto the field through the tunnel, I was like, oh my gosh, I get to be on the field. That was so amazing. That was really cool to see from a different perspective. Unless you happen to be a fan who have an end zone, seat, so you can go downstairs to that lounge area. But that was really cool. And then our seats were on the level 5 and on the end zone, south end zone. And when we got up there, I was completely shocked because the view was amazing.
Yeah.
Like we could see from end zone to end zone, unobstructed view. And it was great. I loved it. We had a great time. I sat next to the Rams fan of the Rams. There's another one, Amanda. She was great.
There you go.
And to see her reaction when the Rams came back to win. Yeah. Oh my gosh. She had me in tears because she was just so happy and just that you could just see it hit her.
Yeah.
So that was great.
Awesome. Well, hopefully next year, sometime soon, that can happen for you as well. So, and me, and I'll be crying like a baby if that happens.
Yes, I am planning on going to Arizona next year. Right?
Awesome. You got to. You've got to, and let's be there. Let's be in it. Let's be in it.
We're in it.
So, the off season. What are your plans? What do you hope to do? Because it's hard right now. There's no Charger football. Like, what are we gonna do? And we still have our really cool community online, and Twitter is still as strong as ever. Like people, more ads, more likes, people are becoming great friends. Like it's fantastic. What are you hoping to do during the off season?
I am planning possibly, I've been asked to do my own podcast.
Ooh.
So we shall see if that comes together or not.
I'll be a guest. If you need a guest, I will come on. No problem. I'll drop what I'm doing.
All of you guys, of course.
Awesome.
And let's see, I have a bunch of little projects, working with. I'm going to try to put together a giveaway with Matt Overton.
Cool.
And working with Eckler still. I have that. I pinned a post where I said, for every touchdown you do next season, I'll donate $100. And I got probably about 40 other people who are joining in on my pledge, which I had no idea. So that's going to be so much fun to see where that goes for next season.
Yeah.
And then before we know it, I really think training camp will be here, and then see the preseason and then season. I think it's going to go by fast. So I'm staying optimistic on that part because it is kind of hard without Chargers football right now.
Yeah, it's going to come very fast. We're going to have free agents in like 30 days. We're going to have draft picks soon. It's just the great thing about the NFL is like it doesn't really stop. You're still going, and everyone gets to see who they want.
Yes, and also I just remember free agency, right?
Yep, that's coming quick.
Who are we going to pick up?
We got some money, so see what the ninja Tommy T is going to do.
Yes, so that's coming up. I'm not sure which fan it is, but they post X amount of days before free agency.
Yeah, so I love it. Whoever's doing that, and they're putting the old jerseys. It's such a cool thing. Yeah. Well, Jen, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on again. Can't thank you enough, and you help us with getting player interviews, and I can't tell you how much that means for us. And then, not just for us, the people that watch this podcast, and listen to this podcast, they get to hear these players because a lot of them because of you. So thank you so much for everything you do for us.
No problem. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. You guys are amazing. I love listening to you guys.
You're the best. You're the fan of the year for the Chargers, the one and only Jen Mills. Thank you so much again for coming on.
Thanks, Kevin. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Jen, you're just the best. You're just awesome.
I can't wait for her podcast.
I can't either.
I'm listening.
I remember she was posting possible titles, and so I'm anxious to see which one she ended up going with. But yeah, wow, what a what a season for her. Like just all the different events that she got to go to. And
that's incredible.
And I mean, honestly, that's just everything coming back to her. She has done so much for the community of the Chargers and in bringing people together and events and getting people to donate and everything like that. Like this is all just coming back to you, Jen, because of how much you've done. So you deserve every bit.
Fellow Charger fan.
Yeah, every bit of good stuff that happened for you. You deserve every bit of it. And yeah, we can't wait to check out the podcast. Can't wait to be on it because I mean, come on.
Yeah. The one thing in that interview that I was very revealing, out of all 32 fans of respective teams, the one that was the biggest dipshit was the Raider
weenie.
Fan.
What
else do you expect? She said she couldn't go into it in too much more detail, but what do you expect? The fan of the year.
When you go into the sewers to find a fan of the year, that's what you get. That's what you pull out.
Coming out.
Like don't take dripping. My picture.
Yeah. Fucking Raiders.
Yeah, so weird. But glad everybody else was cool. And yeah, what a great year for you, Jen. So congratulations and thank you again for coming on and chatting with us. We love having you on.
Always.
All right. Well, now it's time to go on to the next segment, Fan Focus. Who the heck do we got lined up?
We got a good one this week.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Kevin told us a little bit about it. I'm excited.
When you have a fan that saw the AFL championship game that the Chargers won,
our glory,
they saw it with their own eyes.
They were there.
I think they saw it on TV, but they saw it. It's not a memory. It's not a black and white.
It's like,
was
where
in color.
were you when this happened? Yeah.
So that's happening right now.
Okay, let's go.
All right, guys, we are back with another Fan Focus, and we are super excited to have Anthony from Brooklyn, New York. What's going on, Anthony?
How are you, brother? And to all my Charger fans, we can make it happen one day.
Let's do it. We absolutely will. So I got to know, you're in Brooklyn. You live there. How did you become a Charger fan?
So in the early 60s, you watch your baseball, your football. It's not many different things, but it was wrestling, pro wrestling, the WWF, right? It was like more, it wasn't as gamey as it is. It was like you thought it was real.
Yeah.
I remember this one Saturday morning, they announced the guys, and there's this guy. And the announcement, Ernie Ladd, football player for the San Diego Chargers. That was a Saturday. Now, football players, I guess they make a lot of money. Back then, they had to have side jobs, right?
Yeah.
The next day, and I'm fortunate that my mom had a color TV. The next day, I put on Channel 4, NBC, which had the AFL games. Watched the Jets and somebody else in the early game. And in the 4:00 New York game, they had the Chargers and the Chiefs. And I seen that number 19 catch a couple of touchdowns. I seen the lightning bolt. And for me, it's always part of that. And that's it. And and when you're loyal as a fan, you stay true. And that's what I stood true to that day. And I would, navigate in the AFL days. I could get the Chargers maybe twice a month. Chargers Oakland, Chargers Denver, Oakland, Kansas City. I seen some great games watching it on Channel 4, in NBC. So it always grew. In school, you're a Charger fan. You're a Charger fan. Like, that always came out. But there were Cowboy fans growing up because they were pretty good. Packer fans, Giant fans. I used to follow the Giants back then too. But the Chargers were, I don't know, as if I came from there, and I never looked back.
So I'm always curious, like being a fan from back in the day when Allworth was playing and all that. Like, how did you watch games? There was no Sunday Ticket. It wasn't readily available. There was no Twitter. There was no like the internet wasn't around. How did you follow your team?
So you would wait for the highlights, right? So Channel 4, NBC was Kirk Gowdy and Al DeRogatis. That was the team that would do a lot of the 4 o'clock games. 4 o'clock New York, 1 o'clock Pacific time, right? And I would work the TV guide. I would see the TV guide and see when the Chargers were on. And I would never miss the game on a Sunday. And I'd always watch it. And then whether they played and they went, and the next day, the local newspaper, I get this little column, and you'd read about, Hadel threw 2 touchdowns to Allworth, Keith Lincoln, or defense did this. And that was it. That was it. And then my friend Ralphie, who was the Cowboy fan, he knew of a newspaper, a weekly, cost 75 cents in the 60s. That was a lot of money, brother. It was called the Pro Football Weekly. And the guy who wrote on page 2, his name was Jerry Maggi. He came from San Diego.
Oh, cool.
And he was, he referred to the Chargers as his little team. So every week there was always an article on page 2 from Jerry Maggi, and then there would be a story about the game, the highlights, about the game, and then then there was another column, like a gossip column, the way we hear it. And anywhere to get dirt and information, it was like gold. You can read about your team, it's like being in contact with that. And that's what helped me. Your 75 cents was a lot of money. I used to make that work. And,
I love it.
And just wait for the games that were on TV,
That's awesome. So yeah. I want to pick your brain because, you've been through all these coaching changes. You've been through all the regimes. You've been through different GMs. Looking back, what was the kind of like the pocket or like the time you thought like, I really like what this team's doing?
Well, Steve Gilman was like in the very beginning, right? I missed 63. I would love to have said I watched them win the AFL championship. I remember watching a clip where Lance Allworth said he challenged the 63 Green Bay Packers. The Chargers challenged them.
Oh, man, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you look at that, the history, there's a thing on Lance Allworth, a little biography, and he says it at the end. They challenged Green Bay, come play us, because they had a good defense and they played that wide open football. They wouldn't have been ready for that. So that was always something that I missed on that. Then I do remember, unfortunately, 65 and 66, the 2 championship games we lost back-to-back to Buffalo. And that was sort of it for the Sid Gilman team. Then Kansas City and Oakland dominated the division. And the West came into, I was at Giants Stadium watching the Giants play the 49ers. OJ was on the 49ers. And I never forget the scoreboard. The Chargers fired Tommy Protvo that year on that game.
Oh, wow.
And they hired Don Coryell. Now, Don Coryell brought in this style to us. And that was, to me, if people really realize the signals that used to come into the game, the plays, like Landry, they would shuffle them player to player. The Chargers were the first team to use hand signals. Ed Luther would wave his hand certain things and give the play to Faust. So the Chargers were always ahead. And yes, Dan Faust, M.F.I.C. When I go on YouTube, like I watch you guys, I watch the games, Dan Faust was in the Hall of Fame because everybody knew he was the man.
Yeah.
He was the man. If he had a defense, he would have more. He would have rings.
Isn't that kind of crazy? Like, it seems to be the Chargers thing. Like, we have these quarterbacks. We've been the luckiest, franchise by certain accounts with quarterbacks. And it's the same thing. These defenses are not helping out these guys that we have.
I don't know what it was, but like the ownership, like it seemed like, as I look back, Gene Klein was the worst owner we had. Gene Klein. Because he had the offense, but he gave away all the great plays on defense. Louis Kelcher, Fred Dean, and we had that, and he never put the players to make a killer defense. So here's another sidebar. Chuck Noll was an assistant to Sid Gilman. He leaves the Chargers. He goes to the worst team in football, the Steelers. He brings a wide open offense, but he knows he needs a defense. Joe Gibbs is a coach for Don Coryell. He goes to Washington. He knows how to make an offense, but he knows to have a great offensive line and a good defense. So they tweaked what they learned over there. Both Pittsburgh and Washington weren't afraid to throw the ball. He had a good quarterback in there, and they came from our family.
Yeah.
They came out of us.
It's that family tree for sure. And
absolutely.
What do you think now? Brandon Staley didn't have the best year, defensively last year. Our team didn't. And a lot of people are talking about not the right guys and to work in his system, to play his schemes. What do you think? Is there hope in your eyes? You've seen a lot of Charger football. Is there hope for where this team can go?
So when you're a Charger fan, as long as I am, you look at not moments, but and events that occurred that maybe you're catching a break. Yeah. Like the Mike Riley story. You know the Mike Riley story, right?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, but please tell me more.
He begs Bobby Beckett. The Chargers that year, have 3 6th-round picks. He begs Bobby Beckett to use one on this kid that plays in Michigan in 2000. They don't take the kid is Tom Brady.
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't know that one.
And then the Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning thing, me personally, that was a setup. I think the Chargers and Giants definitely made that move like that. Because I think the Giants wanted Eli, and the Chargers knew they had to take Eli, because if they didn't draft him, they would have been the joke of all the NFL. So they drafted knowing they were going to make a trade. Because why would the Giants take Rivers at 4? They could have took anybody else.
Sure.
Making a trade. So we did good in that deal. We got Rivers, a great player. But I always felt that there was always that part missing all around. And some decisions, I think Dean Spanos learned a lot in life. As you get older, you realize as you get older, you see the world differently. And Dean realized that not firing AJ Smith and letting Marty go, that didn't help us.
Not even a little bit.
There is that thing that was always missing. So I say this on Twitter. Tom Telesco did not know what he had when he took the 6th pick. Because had he known, he would never have made Miami go in front of him. You know who needed a quarterback. You would have moved up. So when I look at Herbert, I see all that karma coming back.
New wave of karma coming.
Well, look at it. He gets, by the way, you're in. He has the Wally Pitt moment. Wally Pitt was a great first baseman for the Yankees. Gets hurt. This kid sitting on the bench from the Bronx goes into play and doesn't miss a game for over 2,000 games.
Crazy.
Lou Gehrig, right?
Yeah.
He gets hurt the first day, or the surgeon.
Yeah.
The guy's lung next to you.
That's crazy.
And I'm watching that game like with you. You were watching that game, and I'm not watching somebody panic. We all saw that, right? Yeah. Even with the tools, even the following week when we lost to Kansas City and then we went to New England, Tampa, we had them on the ropes.
Yeah.
Take the knee in the end of the first half. That kid fumbled.
Yeah.
Right? And the rest is history. This year, I think it was a learning curve. He didn't have his players. The defense wasn't there. The NFL is a wide open offense, and you got to have a decent defense, and you'll be able to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I was actually pulling for the Rams, because sometimes you got to have heat in your own neighborhood to let you go for it. You can't just sit back. And right now the Rams are the champs, and the Chargers know, and they have. It's not that we have the guy who can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Correct?
No. Oh, 100%, sir. 100%.
We have the guy. Just give him the tools. I'm a carpenter by trade. That's what I did my entire life. And there's an expression, a carpenter is only as good as his tools. So you give this kid the tools, you give him short fields, as they say, we can make things happen.
I love it. Let's get you out of here on this, Anthony. It's been so awesome chatting with you. We got to do this again because you're a wealth of knowledge. The biggest, like your moment.
Can I give you the Lance story on how that happened?
Do it. Let's go.
Okay. So in 2006, I was at a training session in Palm Springs. The last day, rented a car, took my wife and daughters, my co-worker from Canada. We drove down from Palm Springs to San Diego. We went to 4020 Murphy, no GPS. We made it there. I went inside. I met Georgette, the lady behind the counter we get to be good friends with. Took a couple of pictures with my daughter. My big girl's a big Charger fan. She goes all over. She goes to the training camps. And we took some photos with on the wall, me and Teresa. There's the big Charger emblem on the floor. I took a photo there. I says, can I leave a note for Lance Allwood? And I wrote a note, put it in an envelope. She took it. And that was at the end of the summer. Come February, I'm in New York. I'm working in my building, and I see this phone come in, 702 area code, either 720 or 702. I never knew, but it's a San Diego area code.
Yeah.
And the guy introduces himself. He says, I'm Lance Allwood's PR man.
Whoa.
Lance, appreciate your note. You're a true fan. Lance would like to send you some articles and things. He sends me the autographed football. He sends me all these pictures autographed. And
unreal.
That Christmas, I get that jersey in the mail.
He personally sent you that?
Yeah. That comes from Joey. I didn't buy that. I'm raising 2 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Lance,
What did you say? What is this note? I need some tips.
I wrote a note as a, let's see, 2000, I'm a 42-year-old man. I wrote a note as a kid. You remember when you were a little kid writing to want something?
Yeah.
That's how I see the Chargers, because that's who's still waiting for the Super Bowl, not the 67-year-old guy. Not this guy. When they win the Super Bowl, all those years are going to be channeled back to that moment as a kid. The Chargers are me. You know, in 1994, took my family to New Hampshire for a week. And that Sunday night game was a Monday Night Football Sunday night. It was a 10-year anniversary. I lost my mother's sister, my aunt. She died young. And that was the 10-year anniversary. Same day, September 4th, 1994. I told my daughter, Chargers not losing this game to Denver in Elway. And Anthony Miller, who signed as a free agent with Denver, takes a kickoff, goes back. We're losing like 20-something, 3 or something like that. Stanley Richardson intercepts a ball before the half, takes it to the house. Next thing you know, we win at the end of the game. Elway's throwing a pass, and the ball flies like somebody knocked it out of his hand and went right into Junior's arms.
Yeah.
That was my aunt, because that's the year we went to the Super Bowl.
I love it. I love that.
And even on the Super Bowl, I was, I'd be on the talk radio in New York, like saying, no, they can do this. They can do this, because you're a fan. The game against Miami.
Yeah.
I watched that game on my knees. I think I blocked those 2 field goals just by my will.
You willed it.
Yes. To go back and then imagine imagine like in New York, I'm sure in LA, anywhere, when your team loses in football, it's like they all come down on you. Imagine me walking out. We had that big lead and then losing to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been devastating. And then the following week, that game, I don't think it's played today in those conditions.
Yeah,
it was
the Freezer Bowl.
Yeah, the Freezer Bowl.
No deal. No way. They had to like put Vaseline on their arms and it like coagulated. Like no players are going to go out there. Current players are going to do that.
So what was invented for that game were the things everybody uses now, construction, the hand warmers.
Yeah.
Company, and that's where Dan Faust threw his touchdown when as soon as he would come off the sideline and it was warm and he'd get his good pass off. After that, he said, what was his name? Kenny Anderson had a tighter ball, had a tighter spiral when he threw. So that's why his passes were a little bit more crisp, and Dan's sort of took off on them.
Yeah.
Plus, they would open the door.
Open the door. Yeah. Bring all the wind in. Yeah, crazy. It's wild. So
yeah. What we do, we wait. You know, we wait now for the draft or for the free agency, and there's a lot, Ryan. You could spend the money now. They can spend the money now because this kid. Everybody knows what this kid has. So listen, anytime you kind of feel time.
Honestly, like I could sit here. You should do your own podcast. Is what I'm hearing here. We got to help you set that up. But we're definitely calling you back, man, because I want to hear more of these stories and learn more about our history and just chat with you because your energy is infectious. And I feel like a happier, stronger Charger fan now after talking to you. Anthony, thank you so much, man. I had such a pleasure meeting you and talking to you, and look forward to hearing more from you going forward because we need more Charger fans like you, just dedicated and diehard. So thank you so much for your time. There's
one other thing I do. When the game is on, I don't predict. If I went to a bar and you don't talk. I come from the world when the guy hit a home run, they ran around the bases, and that was it. You don't talk until it's over. You know, I played football a little bit, so you want that camaraderie back and forth.
Yeah,
Peace.
So we appreciate you.
We got a quarterback.
Yeah, we do. It's exciting. Exciting time to be a Charger fan.
Yes. And Telesco knows it.
Let's go, Tommy T. Get us some players. Yes. Let's go.
If you knew that kid was that good, you can't let Miami pick in front of you.
Yeah, it's a good point. I didn't think about that. It's a good point. Very good point. So
it was him in the other day. Joe Burrow, he's going number one, right? He went number one. All the other teams didn't want a quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 5 wanted a quarterback. And 6 wanted a quarterback. And we made 5 take the lefty, thank God.
Yeah.
And this boy, and I always felt it, 6th round, right? Number 6 pick, even though it's the first round, and we lost 3 chances at Brady in the 6th round. So 6 is the number there. Let's see what happens.
Well, thank you so much, Anthony. I really appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon.
God bless. Bye-bye. Thank you, brother. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That has got to be the most entertaining fan focus I think we've ever had.
So hands down. Good. The whole time me, Kevin, and Adam are just like quoting him as he's talking because it's so good.
And laughing because it's just it's amazing how much he's able to just immediately recall and tell a story. Yeah.
Yeah, those details is unreal.
Dude. So we talk a lot of these fan focuses. We talk to a lot of younger people. We talk to
which
new
is great,
fans.
by the way.
Yeah, which is that's what we need. Obviously, we need that, especially with the Chargers moving. There's a new wave of fans coming for sure. But it's so, like you said on the interview, Kev, like it's so encouraging and like exciting to hear people that have been watching the Chargers since
60 years.
Like being that committed and devoted to something, living in New York.
Yeah.
And being a diehard Charger fan. That's Tony. Honestly, you're like a top 5 hero of mine.
Life goals, dude. I want to be Tony when I grow up.
Jesus, my dad, and then Tony.
Yeah.
Pretty much the list.
Tony, you made the list. You're right there with Jesus.
Yeah. God, I love Tony.
You're rubbing elbows with JC. That's awesome.
You guys, if I really want to try and get Tony on here like once a month to just shoot the shit. I could listen to him
we just got to check in with him, see how he's doing.
If you love Tony as much as us, let us know down in whatever comments or reviews you can.
Go follow him on Twitter too.
Go follow him on Twitter.
On the interview. If you're not watching, go follow him because he's good stuff. Like what was the about the Herbert and Burrow and why didn't he just jump? Like good points.
Tommy T lucked out. Yeah, if Tommy T knew Justin was going to be this good, he would have gone and got him.
Yeah.
He lucked out for sure. You can't tell me you just knew that you were going to take whichever one fell to you. Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it like that, but Tony, wise.
Tony connecting dots and just recalling incidents and the way guys played and coaches and everything like that. Like that is just
and Lance Allworth sending him a personal
the Lance
jersey?
Allworth stuff. That's amazing. That is so freaking cool.
Come on.
It's like to extend it. It's like the Kea and him have something in common where they both took their shot. They both shot their shot and they got what they got it. They got what they wanted.
Shoot your shot, man. You miss 100% of shots you don't take.
Yeah.
Man.
I love it. I thank you, Tony. Honestly,
Tony,
the bottom of my heart.
so
That
good.
was so fun.
That was very entertaining, Tony. Thank you for coming on. We will definitely have you on again because
I'm like, what am I doing here?
For us.
If one of us can't make it on the show, you should have Tony just replace
we'll
whoever
fill in
can't
for
make
Tony.
it. 100% without hands
100%.
down.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I mean, we're here trying to be entertaining for you guys. Tony was entertaining for us. That was like the tables were flipped on that bit. So Tony, thank you again,
Thanks, man.
Take care of yourself. All right, now it's time to go on to the next segment. Ask Boltfam. Let's go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do.
I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy. All right, gang, it's another off-season edition of Ask Boltfam. We start this one off with an old favorite of ours, Okie Doggy, who asked the question. That's right, motherfuckers. I'm back. I may not massacre everyone I see like Air Bear, but I will still everyone up. After seeing this season and reviewing everything that happened, there is only one conclusion that I have come up with in my long hiatus. There were too many games in general that were affected by the refs, and the only way to counteract this is to solidify the run defense, because we don't need another third, fourth, and forever conversion to get more possessions. We also need Air Bear to embrace his role that has been foretold in order to score on every possession we have. You may ask what role that is, players. Well, that role is to become Darth Vader and strike fear into the league and rule it with an iron fist. We may not have fulfilled the prophecy from last year, but now this prophecy looks promising. But now, on to more pressing matters. I must say before I ask this, that some random guy came up to me saying he was the host for some show and wanted to ask Huggin about who his first crush is this NFL draft. But now he fears for his life, so I will ask it for the three of you. Who will be Huggins' first crush, and who will be the pick he doesn't want? While I'm at it, I'll ask my own question. Who impressed you in the Underwear Olympics, and do you think we go receiver in the second round since there seems to be a lot of fast receivers this year? Now I'm expecting good answers from you guys. Otherwise, I'll go to you and rip your dicks off and shove it up your ass.
Scared.
Okie. Okie.
Coming
better
in with
be
Les
good answers.
Grossman. Yeah.
There better be
Jesus.
some fucking good answers.
All right, Kevin. Who are the Chargers
who's
not
your
drafting
crush?
this year?
My crush is Jordan Davis. So
Mark
yeah,
him off the list. Don't put money on him.
Avita Zane.
I don't know. You
Yeah.
seem pretty high on Trevor Penning, too. You sent us that
I do like
Friday
Penning.
Yeah, stop
13th.
talking about Trevor Penning. Stop talking about him. Cut this,
I like
Adam.
Penning.
Cut this out. Don't get this on the record.
He's just a mean man, and he likes horror movies. And I'm not a mean man, but I like horror movies too. So Penning was good.
There you go. Kevin's got a couple crushes out
But the
there.
speedy wide receivers, like, there's so many good options out there. Those
There's a
guys
lot.
are so fucking fast. Like, the
Yeah.
entire Georgia team was running like 4.3s. Like, even
Yeah.
their defensive linemen. It was just wild.
I'm kind of, as far as like wide receivers go, I'm kind of set on Calvin Austin.
Yes.
The receiver out of Memphis, little guy, 5'7", 5'8", 180 pounds. But the guy can scoot. Like, I've seen him catch little X screens where he just turns, catches it, and goes. Or the little under route where he's 2-3 yards coming across the field and just outruns coverage. So
yeah,
I feel like that's the dynamic that we're missing, and it doesn't cost you a first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tyreek Hill was not a first round pick. You know, like
true.
These little guys go on. They go later in the rounds because everyone fears their size. But I think a third round, you could get a Calvin Austin and solidify that spot and still be able to address corner, edge rush, or tackle in the first two.
Do you think he's gonna he's one of those guys that his stock went up? You look at like
sure.
what everyone else is looking at. You know, I don't think he's a first rounder, but is he going to be there this, come the 17th pick for us in the second round?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he'll be there in the second round if we want him. Me, it's his value there. Are you willing to take that risk in the second round? And I think you need a second rounder should still be a starter. You know, like that's the Asante Samuel of last year.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think when you have Mike Williams that you're paying $16 million and you're Keenan Allen who you're paying, I don't even remember what his deal was in the 18, 20 mil or whatever it is.
19. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you don't need a wide receiver in that second round to like this type of receiver to go second round. He'd be a third round guy. That's what I think when we go receiver. Try to find someone that falls, and because of his size, maybe he does fall. But yeah, I think the first 2 rounds, there's 3 positions: corner, edge, and offensive line, that right tackle spot that they're gonna address. But I don't know. It's the hardest part about the draft. It's like I could sit here and be so convinced, and fucking Tua sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so hard. Like last year, I was like, I know who I don't want, and I know who I want. This year's like, there's a lot of guys that I kind of want now.
Would be happy to have,
the negativity's not as high.
Yeah. This year's going to be more fun to watch the draft for me.
Hell yeah.
You know, like I don't have like a dead set, this guy or bust. Last year, it was like, if we don't get one of the top 3 tackles, I'm going to be pissed off. Now it's like, you know, who we get, I'll be excited. I'm excited to watch their highlight film on that night.
Like literally, there's like 4 positions that if we got drafted in the first round, I'd be fine. Cornerback, if one of those studs is there. If defensive, you know, if one of our defensive linemen are there, offensive tackle and penning, like those are guys that I would be absolutely happy, or wide receiver.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that really is a difference maker and can.
It's the high money positions, right? That's who you want to draft, because that's how you save money in your cap.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to go pay a cornerback like a J.C. Jackson $20-something million to be on our team. I'd rather get a young stud that's going to come in and need to prove himself, that you know isn't he's not tried yet, but he could be a stud, and you get to pay him a fraction of that.
Right. I kind of like J.C. Jackson too. I kind of like to have him on this roster as well. That'd be pretty sweet.
Hey, I'm not saying it.
How dare you?
I'm just saying that's the benefit of drafting one of those higher paid positions,
right?
As opposed to taking a defensive tackle, you know, 100%. In the first round. It's like that money, you can find a good D tackle without having to break the bank.
Absolutely. All right. Well, there you go, Okie Doggy. Hope those were good enough answers for you, and you can keep your hands in your pockets.
Only good answers this episode, boys.
Let's move it on now to the next one. Nosebleeds Noah.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question?
Ski guys, I'm going home. Hey, chat. Except you, Cal. You little wait, wrong Cal. Anyways, all these rumors are going around right before the tag deadline and free agency. Out of all the rumors, which one is your favorite and least favorite? Okay, fuck you back.
Okay, fuck you by also
They
works.
love you.
No, that's fun. It's the yin to the yang of the buys.
Yeah.
That was great. Thank you. All right, favorite and least favorite rumors.
Dude, I heard a rumor. That we were like in the talks for Tom Brady. I no joke got an update that we were like a top 5 team looking to possibly go after Tom Brady right now.
No.
I swear to God.
That's a big no.
Yeah. You guys keep talking.
Honestly, like my least favorite rumor is the thought of Gronkowski coming to the Chargers. Like that really and the reason being, like, not that he would be a bad player by any stretch of the imagination, but if there's any player that is even relatively close to beating Antonio Gates' touchdown record, it's Rob Gronkowski. And that really just makes me want to throw up in my mouth that anybody would come close to touching Gates' touchdown record. So if anything, honestly, I kind of just hope Ron Gronkowski is just like, okay, yeah, you know what? Tom's not playing. I'm done. See you guys later. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that ends up being the case.
I've already written him off. I'm already done with Brady. So I thought that was all done. But why? We have Justin.
I don't know. Now I can't find it. Maybe it was just a bad nightmare.
You had a daymare.
Yeah.
Maybe you got hornswoggled like I have on some of those other Twitters that are just like, yeah, somebody got you finally.
There's just so many of them right now. And the weird thing is, with the amount, like, people can throw rumors and stick them on us because we have so much money.
Right.
Like, so there's some of these.
We could do so many different things, and no one knows what the Chargers are ever going to do.
Right.
No. we'll know we'll know a lot more tomorrow, or when you're listening to this, what happens with Mike Dubb. And that'll affect things. And they're also talking about trying to get, the one I like the most is the rumor that they're working on a contract extension this year for Derwin James, and both of them are coming to the table. Right. That's the one I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense for me. I know it's a little early, a little premature, but let's just lock it in so that you know what these contracts are moving forward, and then you can start planning accordingly.
I think that in my mind, that's like a training camp extension. That's like a Joey Bosa show up to camp to get your extension. Because Joey was on his last year. He still was under contract when he got his extension. I feel like Derwin's going to be a similar type situation where I don't think Derwin's going to hold out like Joey was threatening, but I think that's when the timeline of when Derwin will get his extension. But that has to happen.
Absolutely.
100%.
All right. Well, there you go. Nosebleeds Noah. We
welcome.
And we touched on a few of those, and welcome. Absolutely.
Welcome.
Glad to have you. Let's move it on now. Let's move it on now to JDM 2118,
who also has some real language for us.
That's the question. What's up, fuckers? I'm back. A quick question. What free agents do you prefer to bring in, eh? I see that Von might be on his way to the team. Orale home. Love you. Bye. Stay brown, bolt up. Ball gang or don't bang, bitches. Hey.
Orale.
Yeah. All right. So
favorite free agents,
and Von might be on his way to the team. I mean, I don't know.
The connection with Staley makes sense. Why that rumor would be
guess
circling.
That's true.
Makes total sense.
Von Miller?
Yeah.
I mean, we need another pass. Like Uchenna hasn't been re-signed, so we only have one real pass rusher. So, and Kyler Fackrell is no longer under contract. He was a 1-year guy, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we are real thin at that position, and with his connection with our head coach, it makes a lot of sense. But today, Vaughn went out and posted stuff on his Twitter. He's like drinking on the beach on vacation, posting stuff all over his Twitter and getting all of us fans all riled up. He like posted him in his Broncos uniform. And he was like, do you think they'd give me my old locker back? And then he was like, what do you guys think? 40 or 58? Like, so in my mind, he wants to go back to the Broncos. He just took a 3-month sabbatical to go win a Super Bowl, and now he's coming back.
He's like, I'm back with my ring, Holmes.
John Elway is a sneaky mofo.
That's weird. That would just be weird to me, but I don't know, I guess.
If Aaron Rodgers is going to Denver and he's like, yeah, Vaughn, come, let's go play. Clearly, Vaughn's chasing those rings.
Yeah.
He's just a ring chaser. He's like a tornado chaser. He's a ring chaser. Okay, well, any other free agents that have stood out to you guys?
The one that popped out that I'm listening to what Coach is saying. He had a big press conference at the Combine, and what he said is, while I'm here, we're going to be going after corners. Like it's essential to him. Like he made a big emphasis on it.
Okay.
So I think that J.C. Jackson, even though expensive, if you did it right, I think that would just bolster the secondary. With Chris Harris, that means, the Chris Harris departure and what that could mean for Asante Samuel Jr. and where they could put him. That's exciting for me, because there's a part that I want, like what happened last year. We brought in some free agents that really made our offensive line better. We had one rookie and the rest were veterans to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I want to see a little bit of that methodology happen on defense. So like a bigger free agency signing like that starts to solidify problem areas. And then you can start really working in that depth, which we never have. So that was exciting for me.
Yeah. You know what's crazy to think right now? You're talking about the offensive line. Brian Bulaga is still under contract right now.
Well, as it stands right now.
What is going, like, we have not made a single move in any direction. You see the Patriots releasing Kyle Vanoy, like a starter for them last year. We're still sitting on Brian Bulaga, played 4 games in 2 years guy.
Yeah.
Like Tommy T just stopping so ninja and waiting till the deadline.
Yeah.
We're dying here.
Stop it.
We're dying here.
Killing us.
I'd have to agree with the JC Jackson. That I think would be honestly, it would be really expensive, but I think the stat that I saw that really just jumped out at me was the amount of interceptions this guy has. Like, it is just insane how much he has in the short amount of time that he's been in the NFL. Like that, I had no idea. Like, honestly, I didn't know JC Jackson's name until they were talking about having him not play for the Patriots. And then all of a sudden I see his numbers, just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like that would be crazy. That would just be such a difference maker, I think, on the defense. I mean, the amount of turnovers that we really feel like we kind of lack sometimes. At least it feels that way. I don't know if it's necessarily the case, but the turnovers on defense, I feel like we could use more of. And if you get the guy that's got arguably probably the most interceptions in the last 5 years or so,
he makes things happen. He's the tip master. Like the that's really dirty. He's the tip. He tips so many passes and deflects so much shit. He's always got his hand on the ball.
Right.
Sorry.
All right. Well, any other favorites from you there, Kyle?
I don't know. I can't think of like a favorite. There's just a lot of guys right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want a big wide receiver free agent unless it's Mike Will. Akeem Hicks down in the trenches would be an awesome plug and play. But there's no like glaring names right now that I can think of that's like, go get that guy. The Saquon talk, please don't do that. Please don't.
I think that was another crazy one. But their franchise, I think what I heard last is their franchise tagging him. So
okay, good.
Or extending something like that. So we're not. But that was a fun day.
He's still on his 5th year. He's on his 5th year of his deal right now, and that's why they weren't going to
trade him. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, please don't give up anything to get Saquon Barkley.
What if he's a ninja? What if he's really good and he's just playing for the Giants? That's the question.
That always seems to be the question for some of these guys that don't have great careers with one team and then go to another, just like we saw with Matt Stafford, who
are
played
you?
For Detroit forever and then comes to LA and wins the freaking Super Bowl. So you never know with some of these players, but I think there's a lot of good names floating around out there. JDM2118, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Senora Snappy, who asked the question. With the 94th Academy Awards around the corner, what perfect motion picture role could Justin Herbert win the Golden God statue for? All right. Well, I think this is a great question. I don't know if you're talking specific Academy Award winners or just movies in general, but I think if I wanted to see Justin Herbert play a role, it would have to be opposite Keanu Reeves in Point Break.
Good answer. Oh, good answer.
I would love to see him fill in Patrick Swayze's shoes and just
go skydiving.
And
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
The flow, I think, would fit. Yeah. And I think he would make it happen.
I'm not going to paddle to New Zealand. Sorry. That's my favorite one.
I mean, they've made like 400 of these movies, but I feel like he could pull off the Paul Walker vibe opposite Vin Diesel in a Fast and Furious movie.
I could 100% see that.
Family.
or he could take over Keanu Reeves' role in The Replacements and really kill it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Football movie. That was a good one.
I would have to go with he'd be a good as Will in Good Will Hunting, just that beautiful mind doing equations, leaving them up on the board.
Just super humble.
Just like, how about them apples? That kind of bullshit.
Right.
Just
I see that. I can see that.
Just like
got a little chip on his shoulder, but quiet about it.
You're out at the playground and you just fuck people up. Like, and then you go do math equations. Like, that's the perfect role for Justin Herbert.
That's right. Yeah. He's got that 4.0 grade average. So
fuck them up. How about them apples?
All right. Well, there you go, Senora Snappy. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Blonded Surfer, who asked the question. Be honest, boys. What would it take you to run a 4.3? Raiders fans chasing you down with pitchforks in lowriders. The chance to be adopted by Rivers. Maybe a night out with the herbs. You tell me, I love you, bye.
There's nothing that I would die. Like, there's nothing that could get me to move.
What would you push your body the hardest to try and get? I think is the question, right?
Ownership of the Chargers. Ownership of the Chargers. I would tear all the hammies and quads.
I would
to
easily
get there.
blow out an Achilles trying to hit like sub 5, like maybe like 5.5. I was not the fastest.
Yeah, sub 5 would be a real
Sub
goal.
5.
Real goal. For
Maybe a
us.
Vegas viral video we put up on our social media, us running the 40.
Timing it. Yeah.
Timing it.
I
Have
would
dad
love
dad
to
with
see
his
that.
stopwatch.
Giving us motivation, train us up a little bit.
Boys, honestly, what do you think your time would be if you ran a 40 right now?
Over 5.
You get a little bit distressed. Oh, you're for sure over 5. You think you could,
Closer to
make 5s?
5 close to 7. Somewhere in the 5 to 7.
I think you're closer to 6 than 5.
For sure. I know. I got timed in high school, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. The football.
Coach
football
Yamamoto
practice.
was not generous with those stopwatches, though.
No.
He let
Coach
you
Yamamoto.
pass and look at you before he clicked.
He
that
was so
thing, I'm sure.
judgy. He'd look at you and just kind of like look
Stare
you
you
down,
down.
like you're slow as shit. Like,
And
thanks,
he didn't.
coach.
Yeah, he for whatever reason he had a grudge against you, so I think he carried over a little bit.
He didn't like me because I took off one summer to go intern for like my uncle who's a filmmaker, and I came back and he basically tried to run me off the team. He's like, you have to run 12 miles today to be able to go. So he watched me run for 5 hours around the track, 6 hours around the track.
Jesus.
It was I had died. And then we had like 2 days, like a couple days later, and my feet were dead. Yeah, it was an experience. Child abuse.
Well,
Yikes.
Because
Yikes.
of that, I got slower times. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I just know it.
You're one of
yeah.
those Duggan boys.
Guilty by
man.
association. Guilty of a good
Yeah.
time. Am I right, Kyle? Hey.
Yeah. Some kind of fear of death would make me have to
Try.
run that quickly.
Yeah.
Like Jordan Davis
Jordan
would
Davis
probably
running
have to be
after
behind me. Like,
Dude, that man, when they showed the 40 of him running at you with the 40, that is a terrifying image.
Yeah, that's
what
just that's a
nightmares
moving
are
wall.
made of.
That's a wall that's
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
towards
yeah.
you, and it's going to squish you.
If he
you
doesn't
don't
make it to
move.
the NFL, if they reboot like Friday the 13th, he'd be a great Jason. Just like
Scary.
a fast zombie version of Jason.
Fastest Jason you've ever seen.
He doesn't walk; he sprints at you.
Yeah, there's no walking. It's
Sprint
just
murders.
coming at you.
Just rips your head off your body.
Where'd that come from?
Oh man. All right. Well, there you go, Blonded Surfer. Thank you for asking the question. So moving on now to Daniel Llewellyn,
Danny,
who asked the question.
All right.
Okay. So, like, you three dudes always get questions about who's the toughest, who's the best fighter, etc. But my question is, who's the smartest? All right, get later on, dudes.
Not me.
Kevin went
2.5
to camp.
GPA.
Yeah, Kevin went to camp.
I'm into visual arts, so depending on your definition.
I was gonna say, I mean, it depends on like smartest in what category.
Yeah, and what manner? Yeah.
Yeah, what are we talking? Are we talking movie trivia? Are we talking?
I will smash some faces with movie trivia.
Yeah, I'll lose in movie trivia.
will-
Yeah.
for sure.
You up? I will own you.
Yeah. Are we talking like
I'll beat
sports
you up.
knowledge? Like what
Yeah.
smartest in how?
Just let's
Daniel.
encompass everything.
Generally
Just
smartest.
a general. I'd kind of.
Let's close our eyes so we don't have to be mean and point
And
at
then-
who you think. Okay, so you know where
Hang on,
you're
let me just
pointing.
make
Okay,
sure-
wait, don't
let me-
point
I'm
right
just,
now.
I'm just checking.
No,
I'm just checking
wait.
which side
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to do. Okay.
Okay, all right. Close your eyes and point in 1, 2, 3. Okay, open your eyes. All right, now only the fans. Kevin Duggan
I see what
Kevin's
you're
just
trying to
jealous.
do there.
can't vote your little brother
No fucking
just because
way.
I have a better beard, more athletic, better looking. Can't be smarter too.
You're braggy as shit. I'm tired of hearing it. Fuck off.
All right. Well, I hope
Good
we
one,
answered
Daniel.
it for you, Daniel Llewellyn. Hopefully you were watching to see which one we all
you be
voted
the
for.
judge. You tell us, Daniel. Who do you think is the smartest?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Who's-
good one. Let's put this back on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dan?
We'll answer the question with
Yeah,
the question.
answer the question, Dan. Why are you dodging it, Daniel?
Come on, Dan.
There you go,
Thanks,
Daniel.
dude.
Thank you
Love you, man.
for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Steflock, who asked the question. What free agent do you hope the team stays away from?
Yeah, so mine's kind of a weak answer. Not technically a free agent, and I already mentioned it earlier in the episode. So real cop-out answer, but Saquon Barkley, I just don't want anything. I don't know. I don't think he's proven it for us in a win now. Let's go get it right now type of mentality. I don't think he's worth the money that he's going to cost.
Backup if you were
giving up things to get him too. He's not even a free agent.
I'm going to go with one of the players that's currently a free agent. I'm going to go with Jared Cook. Not what I was expecting this year. Too many drops. Not reliable. The one play where he just didn't finish his route and Justin threw an absolute dime getting chased to where he could have been open was like, that sealed the deal for me. I was like, let's move on. Time to move on. So Jared Cook, I'd prefer him not to be a Charger this year.
Well, I'll say the answer that I said earlier, and that's Rob Gronkowski. Don't want him. You can have him. No, thank you.
You want to play beer pong, bro? Hang out, bro?
No, bro.
Let's go to cruise, bro.
I'm good, bro. I don't need any Tide Pods. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Steph Locke, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Joe Fernandez, who asked the question.
Like Zoink Scoob, look, if you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip if it meant the Chargers winning a Super Bowl in our lifetime?
Better never, ever let it go. You only get one shot. That was nice.
Did not miss a chance.
Opportunity comes on. Yeah, that one.
You gotta.
I'd do anything for a Super Bowl. What do you want me to do?
I would do anything.
Absolutely anything.
Give us a hypothetical for the next episode and we'll answer it because we'll pretty much do mostly anything.
Yeah. If it meant
for a Super Bowl, it's because
I'm pretty sure Kevin talked about cutting off fingers and stuff in the previous episode. Didn't he?
Sure, like a pinky.
I mean, we've talked about tattoos, digits, shaving beards. It's the whole gamut has been there.
It's all on the board.
What I think is interesting, though, in the way that I'm rereading this question now in a not silly voice in my head, it mentions in our lifetime. So what if that meant that you couldn't enjoy a Super Bowl until like the last year of your life?
That might make it sweeter, though.
But do you? I mean, would it though?
Honey, bring me a beer. The Chargers are on.
You have to like just endure a lifetime.
But like
of
Tony talked about, it like takes you. Imagine being that old and being taken back to your.
You get all those years before you to celebrate with the younger versions of yourself.
Yeah. All right.
That's a good question.
Just asking. It just it popped in my head.
Thought about it.
Yeah, thought about it.
I like it.
All right, there you go, Joe Fernandez. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Ricky, who asked the question. Even though he somewhat backtracked his statement about there being no rookie QB windows, do you believe Telesco's mindset will be detrimental when we start negotiations for Herbert's extension? If the NFL decided to do an expansion of 4 teams and San Diego was one of them, would you continue to be a fan of the Los Angeles Chargers? What does a motherfucker gotta do to get on the motherfucking fan-focused portion of your motherfucking podcast? Can't love you, bye, motherfucker.
Never had you go back-to-back voices. That was pretty awesome.
Well, he asked 3 questions and he made 3 different voice requests. So
that's awesome.
All right. Well, let's start with the easiest.
From the top or the bottom?
Let's start from the easiest. How do you get to be a fan focus on here, Kev?
Oh, just message me. It's pretty simple.
Go to chargerchat.com and hit us up.
You can do that, or you find me on Twitter, DM me on Instagram, DM Charger Chat Podcast, and we have a whole bunch lined up, but get in the queue, baby.
We'll fit you in.
We'll get you on, baby. Let's
we'll get
go.
you on there, Ricky.
Want to hear about
Ricky
you.
3 questions.
Yeah, Ricky 3 questions.
Ricky 3.
Okay, let's go up to the Homer one. So even though he backtracked on his statement about there being no rookie QB windows, do you think Tommy's mindset will be detrimental? No.
It doesn't matter. Justin Herbert will become the highest paid quarterback
exactly
in history once his contract's up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is what it is with quarterbacks. I don't care what your GM thinks or believes about windows. You have one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. You pay him whatever he decides that he needs. You're not going to let him walk.
No, you won't let him walk. So
just imagine the fan base. Just imagine the fan base you're building if you let their favorite player walk. It's not going to happen.
It's just a matter of guaranteed money and signing bonus. Like, that's all you're negotiating because they're going to get the money no matter what.
Gonna get the money.
The money.
All right. And then this question. If the NFL decided to do an expansion of 4 teams and San Diego was one of them, would you continue to be a fan of the Los Angeles Chargers?
It's my team. Yes, 100%.
I think this is more for Kyle than it is for us, Kevin.
This is really, really hard.
I know. That's why it's like, I mean, I would still be a fan of the Chargers, but I might follow whoever the San Diego team ended up being just to keep tabs on them. Maybe become an eventual fan. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stop being a Los Angeles Charger fan.
Yeah, I don't think I would stop being a Charger fan. But I don't know how you could be a real fan of 2 teams.
You can't.
Like, you can't.
Cannot. Impossible.
Ricky.
Broken his brain.
That's really, really hard. Like, because you think about what makes you committed to a team is the history that you have with them.
Right.
And being tied to them and going through things and having your heart broken and then having your, like, all of your dreams come true and then having your heart, like, that's part of why I'm such a big Charger fan is I've gone through all that stuff.
Right.
But at the same time, also you're a fan because sometimes it represents the city that you live in or that you are committed to in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I will say is you'd be sitting next to a lot of grumpy people that would talk shit about the Chargers every game you were at. Just saying.
That's true.
So I want nothing to do with that. Salties. Come on, give us an out,
right.
Kyle.
I can't give an answer right now. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Maybe.
Well, you said you would still be a fan of the Chargers, and that's really the ultimate question: is would you continue to be a fan of the Los Angeles Chargers?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a simple.
Great
yes or no.
question, Ricky. You've broken his brain.
Out of all 3 questions, Ricky, that one was the toughest. So thank you for asking it. Let's move on now to Senior Snappy, who asked the question. My question is, if you address all 3 of Ricky's questions in one episode, can we change his name to the Wolldog Hog?
Yeah, Wolldog Hog.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Ricky.
Ricky 3 Fingers.
Ricky 3 Fingers is better. Ricky 3 Fingers is way better.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's not often that we get people asking multiple questions. I think Okie Doggy's asked at least 2. I mean, he asked 2 this episode alone, and I know
3's definitely the most that we've ever gotten on one.
3 and 3 separate voice requests. But
I like the twist because you had to go back to back to back with different voices and show your.
It is.
I like what you did, Ricky.
Talent. Your
I don't know about that.
It also shows Ricky's like real commitment to our show too, like to our community.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Every time a thought pops up of I wonder what these guys think, he hops on Twitter and lets us know.
And now you go over and you message me.
Ricky,
you message me right now, Ricky 3 Fingers. I want to hear from you. Let's do this.
There you go. Let's set it up, Ricky.
Let's chat.
All right. Senior Snappy, thank you for asking the question. And happy birthday, sir. Let's move it on now to Unanimous, who asked the question.
In the spirit of the off-season, who would you sign from another Chargers podcast to replace Coach? Because, Wolldog and Huggin would never leave each other. Coach, who would you sign on to replace these 2 backstabbing bitches that would ditch you at any given moment? And in my never-ending disgust of Telesco, every time y'all say he's a ninja, I think Beverly Hills Ninja, not the super-duper cool ones. Love you, bye.
Backstabbers.
Some bitches.
Some bitches.
All right, you guys answer first. I have my answer already.
These are easy answers, Tony. Because Tony's the man. He doesn't have a podcast, but if we were to go podcasters, I might go with Hef-Dog. I might go with Hefner. Jake.
The
Jake Hef
Heffenmeister
from Chargers Unleashed. He's a good dude.
Sure.
Yeah, we enjoy a fun banter on Twitter DMs. So I think he'd fit right in. He likes to talk shit with movie references and stuff too. So
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But
Tony, final answer.
Mine might be a bit of a cop out, but I'll say Chris Hayre.
Nice.
because why not?
If you want to flex
Nice,
hard
yeah,
and get
why not?
more listens, I see what you're doing.
I'm all about it. You know it. If I got to lose somebody as important as Kyle, I need to replace. I don't know who.
Yeah,
could
you guys are gonna
replace
have to
Kyle.
replace quite a few views if you kick me off the show.
Matt Money. Let's get Matt Money in here.
You can't just answer everyone, Kevin. Pick one.
There's so many options.
Haley Elwood.
Greedy.
Haley.
Yeah, I still have to answer. Stop picking everyone. All right, and I have 2 I have to pick.
Yeah. Good luck.
All right, so if you two some guns decided to leave me out, just send me out like old Yeller. I would contact Craig because I think me and Craig could have some really good banter.
I think
and
so,
like
too.
discussion and have it be like actually like very critical but respect still, unlike me and Kevin. And then I would also have, if this is like a dream world, pick any 2. I would pick Craig from Texas and Matt Money Smith. Those would be my 2. Because Matt Money Smith's voice is just angelic.
It's
and
money.
Everyone would come. Yeah.
Analyze that. All right.
Or Daniel Jeremiah. We could just keep throwing out all the names.
Yeah,
that we know.
whatever.
Yeah.
And Rich Eisen would be awesome.
Yeah. Chris Collinsworth on here talk crap to him the whole time.
He just talk shit.
End his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get Pat McAfee.
Fuck it.
Oh, good answer, dude.
Joe Rogan. Come on, let's go.
Joe Rogan.
All right. Well, there you go. Unanimous. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on to JV, who asked the question.
With the combine over and free agency just around the corner, I have just one question. Cake or pie?
Angel food.
Oh, cake guy.
Yeah, we got
I can't.
got
The
a
angel,
cake guy over here.
The angel food is fucking next level. I can't
It's
not
delicious.
pick angel food cake.
Can't say it's not.
Yeah, angel food. But I love pies, but I'm going to go angel food.
I'm a pie. Yeah, I definitely would way prefer pie over cake. Not a big, like, even on my birthdays, I'm like, Mom, just like make something
Birthday
much better
pie.
than cake. Yeah. Yeah.
Any
yeah.
one of them
birthday
birthday pie. Yeah, I don't know. I love cake, but something about like if you get like a store-bought cake, the frosting, there's something with the frosting. It's just off. It's just weird. But if you got a store-bought pie, I think that's a lot more. Yeah, I think you can.
You're going
eat that
lowest
all day
common
long.
denominator.
I love them both. But
Even
if I had
best
to
cake
pick,
and
Store
best
bought
pie, I
angel
still
food is
prefer
better
pie.
than pies, and you can put whatever you want on angel food cake.
listen, Kev, this is
What
America.
has happened
and
to
we
this
can all have our
podcast?
own
Kevin
opinions.
sounds like he had angel food cake tonight.
I did. Mom made it for me when she visited last week. It was so good.
She made it again on Sunday night. For
Yeah,
our
because
family
I was
dinner,
like,
yeah.
oh my god, this is the best. I ate a whole
And it
pie
was
in
really,
2
really
days.
good. It was really good. But I don't even consider that more a kind of a pie too. I don't know. Like I'm thinking like birthday cake, and that's just
Those
not
suck
it.
ass. That's what we're talking about now. Pie for sure. No one likes that.
I'll go pie because I think those
Good
pie's
answer.
got a lot
Good
more
answer,
to offer.
Adam.
Angel food.
Adam, let's team up and kick Kevin off the podcast.
There we go.
With the angels.
Just kidding. Love you. Love you, Kevin.
All right. Well, thank you for asking the question, JV. And we go out to Ask Boltfam as per usual with our old fan, DG.
The DS Island.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Jeeves. Just Jeeves. No D's.
How dare you?
Oh, you're dead next episode.
You're dead to him.
Who asked
Imagine
the question?
the
Jeeves
essay
running
you're gonna
after
have
me?
to
Oh,
read. Yeah.
You rip
running
into
a
him,
4.3 because Jeeves is running after me?
Yeah, he's
running
running a
him off
4.3.
the road, Jeeves.
Get him,
All right.
Jeeves.
Let's get to Jeeves' question.
Stop hating me. I don't get it. Why does everybody hate me? I drafted LT. Okay, no, I didn't, but I did draft Rivers. Okay, I got Eli, but you gotta admit that trade worked out. It got us Kading and Merriman. Is everyone still crying over the Schottenheimer firing? Rest in peace, by the way. 12-4 is not that good, though. Like, undefeated is like way better, right? Besides, he wanted to make the changes and bring in his son. This was my team. I'm not crying, you're crying. Just saying, it hurts my feelings. He did what he wanted and he didn't listen to me and I didn't like it. Where's my blankie? I'm not arrogant either. I know what you guys say about me. I'm not arrogant. I'm like the most humble guy ever.
so humble. It's been years, guys. Can you officially say you forgive me, please? Why not? It was like so long ago. I just want to be loved. Fine. Say you had the power to hire personnel for the Chargers and you went to a psychic and they told you in order to win a Super Bowl, you had to rehire me as the GM. Would you do it knowing I'd pretty much just be riding the coattails of Tom and Herbert? A lot like Weddle this year? Or would you think the psychic is just full of shit and you'd always wonder? Please say yes. Hire me back. Come on, man. I'm just gonna go home and use my tears as... Never mind, sorry. Oh yeah, the Raiders. They love you. Bye. Don't hate me.
I still hate you, AJ Smith.
You suck, AJ.
You know what's funny is
You gotta admit that was a pretty good AJ Smith.
That was
right?
pretty solid.
That was a great spot on. Yeah.
Solid. I do want to bring something up that I was just kind of fucking around looking at draft stuff. And do you remember in the 2010 draft? This was AJ Smith. Our first round pick was Ryan Matthews, running back.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the names that came after Ryan Matthews. I'm just going to put this out there. We're always hating on our boy Tommy T, but no hate on Ryan Matthews, but Earl Thomas, Jason Pierre-Paul, Marquise Pouncey, Sean Weatherspoon, Demarius Thomas, Brian Bulaga, Dez Bryant. A lot of dudes on this list after Rob
Fresno
Gronkowski.
State running back. Let's go.
Let's
baby.
go. So
West.
It's all relative. I remember them drafting him and him not even being at the draft. He's the first round pick that wasn't there because he's like, maybe I'm not a first rounder. So I don't know. We can always pick apart these GMs because you look at that, you're like, wow, everyone after him was like a stud.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But if it
I would take
guaranteed a
anyone
Super
back.
Bowl,
Yeah, do it. Give it a shot. Take your chance.
give it a shot.
Yeah, for
Fire
sure.
away.
But does that mean I have to keep him forever, or is it like he'll win the Super Bowl next year?
I don't think I want him back. He's
even if it meant the psychic telling you you're going to win a Super Bowl.
They're going to tell you you're going to win a Super Bowl. That doesn't mean you're going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just gonna sit there and think, and if we never win one, you're like, I
should have listened to that. I should have listened to that psychic.
Yeah,
the guy just sucks.
Yeah,
he's just a grumpy old man. Just sucks.
All right.
Give me the Super Bowl any way we can get it.
Yeah, I'll take a Super Bowl.
Again, when we win the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna think when we win it. Oh, I'm so glad for AJ.
We're all here because of one man.
No, I'm not.
You know who you are, buddy.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, sick. We did it. Fire him.
Yeah, get him out of here.
We got it.
Super Bowl win. That's
Psychic
not good
was
enough
right.
for
Now
you,
leave
buddy.
us alone.
Give me the Schottenheimer treatment.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you think 14-2 was harsh? You won a Super Bowl later.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right. Jeeves, thank you for asking the question. And thank you, everybody, for asking the questions. And Ask Bolt Fam, you guys make this the episodes that they are, and we really appreciate it. And that's going to do it for this episode of Charger Chat. Any Bolt predictions, guys? How about a Bolt prediction? Are we getting Mike Williams signed?
Mike Williams.
Or franchise
I think
tag?
he's gonna get. I think he'll get tagged, and the extension will come here in the next couple of weeks.
Contract's happening.
So contract, not tag.
Contract. It's happening. It's gonna be a last minute thing. That's why they haven't done the tag yet.
I'm gonna say
they're working
contract.
hard. There's a lot of lawyers sitting at a lot of tables doing a lot of things with a lot of paper and trying to figure a lot of things out.
There's paper everywhere.
Just fucking everywhere.
I think they'll get a contract done too. That's my bold prediction.
Oh, shocking! You two agree, and I'm odd man out.
Hey, I was with you on the pie, Kyle. Come on.
That's true. We did the pie.
Pie guys.
Pie.
Yeah.
We'll always have pie, Kyle.
We'll always have pie.
That's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Viva Las Vegas. Can't love you, bye.
Can't love you, bye.
Oh, can't love you, bye.
Oh.
And now, a word from our sponsors. On the coast of Southern California, you can only bake, whisk, and frost for so long before it's time to go to work. Rock and fold!
27 bakeries in 3 years.
Everybody cool!
Anything to bake the perfect cake.
Heat causes caramelization. Caramelization will cause your worst fears to come true. You think I joined the FBI to learn to bake? Point cake. All-purpose flour, amigo!